Okay, today I'm going to do my daily review. I'm going to also include the weekly review. This is starting out, it was a red day for me today. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but it was still a red day. I try not to have red days, even though I know I'm going to have them. It just happens, but it's just something I have to get over. But anyway, it's still up for the month, so let's go to the weekly S&P chart. Yes. Okay. All right. So right here, this little tiny candle is just today, this week. All right. We did make a higher high last week. So this was interesting. Last week we got higher than this. Uh, I'm bullish up until this point. I would like to see what we will do when we get to this area. Because not only is this prior support, it's also where the 20 and the 50 bar moving average is on the weekly chart. So I think we probably can get up to here. At this point, I'd be just watching. Uh, all right, that was last week, this nice green candle right here. Let's see, we didn't quite get over the 50 RSI yet on the weekly. We haven't done that, but it is positive. We had a closure over the 5 EMA, and we did make a higher high. We closed higher than the prior week. All right, let's go to the daily. All right, the daily on ES, like I was saying last week, a lot of people are theorizing that we'll go up to this death cross, either the 50 or the 200, and fall back down. Even if we don't make a lower low, there will probably be a reaction to it, and we'll maybe have a little bit of a dive downward. We're not too far away from the 50 EMA on the daily, but yeah, we're making higher highs. This line right here and these two lines, that was Friday's low and Friday's high. So I used that as a guide today. We're supposed to. Today I just did a revenge trade that just messed me up. All right, but let's go to the hour on the S&P ES. All right, so this was Friday's high, Friday's low. We started the day off. What did I do? I didn't trade ES. I started the day off trading gold. I took a gold trade last night and I made $70. And then my first gold trade today, I lost $250. But I wasn't watching ES at the time, but let's see. So this would have actually been a good trade. I don't know why I didn't take it. This was the 7 o'clock candle. And if I just waited to get over the 7 o'clock candle, seen a bullish signal on the 5-minute, that should have been a nice scalp up, at least to Friday's high. So we made it above Friday's high, but we wicked and went down. Let's see. Okay, just looking at the hour. We were looking bearish until this candle closed lower than this candle. I'm sorry, we were looking bullish until this candle closed. Basically, it looks like we got back up to that, get to Friday's high, and we wicked and we got back down. Okay, so here we closed under the 50 and under the 20. So this would have been a nice opportunity to go short. We didn't quite hit the Friday's bottom. We kind of got there and then we just came back up. But this would have been a nice short. Even if I got in short right at the bottom of this candle, that would have been a good short. If I saw a 5-minute setup as we retraced up and saw us looking bearish, that would have been a nice short. I didn't take that, of course. Let's see. Then we started heading up. I don't know exactly what we hit here. I don't know if it was just the order block or just the demand zone here, because we didn't actually hit the low, but we got into this area here. A lot of people call it order block. Some people call it demand zone, whichever. Uh, we went up. Let's see. This candle, we didn't quite close over the 20, but this candle was bullish. This candle confirmed the cross because we did have the cross down. We got a little below the 50, but this green candle has the bullish cross of the 5 over the 20. So for this, you'd wait for me. If you believe that we were going to actually break this high, we went there already. If we thought we'd come back and break this high, you basically want to look for right now. If the market's closed, New York Stock Exchange is closed. The futures market's open. It's 3 o'clock Central, which is 4 o'clock New York. So the futures market closes at 5 o'clock New York, 4 o'clock Central. So it's open for another hour. That's why it's still moving. If I believe myself personally, I shouldn't, because I take trades I shouldn't take. I shouldn't take a long on this until we got a hour candlestick close above this, because this is showing us that it's resistance. But anyway, let's look at 5-minute real quick. Okay, so we opened up choppy a little bit, but this was the trade I could have taken, and I don't know why I didn't. Let's see. It may be because it was, we probably, let's see, 7 o'clock. Yeah, we broke the 7 o'clock high pre-market. So yeah, I never did see that. That's why. But still, this would have been a good trade because we were bullish. We went down under the 5 EMA. The thing is that we didn't close above the 5 EMA to this candle. And at that time, we were starting to head down. So I wasn't even looking. But being that this candle was so big and red, I probably would have wanted a bigger retracement. Not this big, obviously. But I would have wanted at least to see a close under the 5 and then us start coming back up. But I wasn't watching at this time. If you were, what I would call aggressive, we had a close under the 5 EMA on this first candle when the stock market opened. Could have just aggressively got in here and just assumed that we were going to break it. That's okay. I mean, possibly. To be honest with you, it probably just wasn't the greatest setup, at least for my setup. Somebody else may have a setup where it works beautiful. But anyway, I got these blue lines here. This is the top of my 1 hour opening range, and this is the bottom. So this is the 8 o'clock candle. And I took an ES trade. I missed, and we'll go over the gold trade I took and that I didn't get to take that I was waiting for. Didn't work out. And then I went on in this mess and I took an ES trade. I'm not sure which one it was, but I lost. I was down $300. It might have been this. I can't remember. But whatever it was, it might have been this, thinking we would go up higher. And then we ended up just falling right here, falling down. And I shouldn't have taken that trade because, as I said, you kind of want to see a close above it. And we didn't close above it. It's been resistance. And I really should wait for a 1 hour candle close above yesterday's. And that should just be a part of my rules. I need to see at least a 1 hour candle close above the prior day's high before I start looking for longs. Once we hit it and we see its resistance, because we did. So I believe this is where I got stopped out and I lost $300. So I managed my risks. I'm not going to be too hard on myself. I didn't lose my shirt. I held on to my shirt at least. And I took a little scalp later for a little something. It was after 2, so I was kind of afraid. But anyway, let's see. Looking back, what I should have done, obviously I shouldn't have traded this mess. The reason being is because we're still in the 1 hour opening candle range. So this means we're ranging. I'm not a range trader. I'm a trend trader. So I should have wanted to see a break of this before I went short and pretty much a break of this before I went long. Once I get that opening candle range put in there, I need to just stick with, if anything's in here, I don't take. And I would have had a good profitable day because I would have gotten in. I don't think I was watching here, but this would have been good. Could have set an alert to let me know when we got here or here. And once we got here, I would have gotten an alert, looked for a candle to close below it, retracing back up to it, and I would have had a great trade. Even if I got out at the 200, that still would have been nearly a 10-point trade, which would have been $500. So that would have been worth waiting for. And then all of these, at this point, I'm too scared to get in short because of the RSI. I should have, because what I have noticed from back testing is that the RSI doesn't mean as much. The thing that means the most is, as far as continuing to go down, is usually we'll continue to go down until we have a close over the 20. Not all the time. There's no such thing as all the time. When we get over the 50 RSI, then you need to be scared of taking shorts. And if we see a double bottom or a higher low. So like, this is somewhat scary. I wouldn't want to get in here until we actually, because we almost had a equal low. I wouldn't want to get in here until we actually close below it. But right here, we also have the same situation. We had the same situation here, and we didn't get below this line. And we close over the 20, and once we closed over the 20, especially if we close above this is really, if you're really being conservative, you really want to wait until we close over this, because this means there's a break in market structure. We're not making, instead of making lower highs and lower lows, we're starting to make a higher high. So this was really a good trade. And we crossed over the 5 EMA, crossed over the 20. We got to the 50. We went back down below the 5 EMA. We had this nice green candle close above the 50. I could have got into the top of this to the 200, and that would have probably been a 5-point trade, which is $250. But then we came back down to the 5, and that was a twofer, because could have got right back in and got back out at the 200 if you wanted to, or held that one and just kept your stop. And that would have been a nice run up. And the thing is, we got right back into the opening range and came right back to retest it, bounced off of it, and went up. So, although opening ranges are new to my strategy, I need to really be cautious of them. I put them there after back testing. I put them there for a reason. I thought that they would be good assistance, but I wasn't. Like, I was taking a trade here, and I should not have taken a trade until we got under here, this 1 hour opening range, or over above here, because then a trend's forming. So I messed that up, and that's fine. I'm learning from it. You know, I'm not too mad at today. And I think I took a scalp right here, and I got like $25. I could have gotten a lot more, but it was after 2, and I was kind of nervous because I don't like to trade after 2, because sometimes we zigzag. But anyway, so that was ES. And so I ended up being down on ES for the day, 275 instead of 300. All right. And so next we're going to go to GC. All right. For the week on GC, let's see. It's so much going on here, but yeah, we dropped back down and we somewhat hit the 5 EMA. We're still at the 80 RSI, so we're up there as far as being oversold. We did make a higher high on the weekly. Actually, you know what? We made a higher high, but we didn't close higher. This was last week. This is the week we're working on. This was last week, so we made that higher high. We made all-time high, but we didn't close above previous high. We closed below it. Looks like we got back down to the 5 EMA today on the weekly. And I don't know, maybe we'll head up. Maybe we'll drop back down. Who knows? Let's look at the daily. But the fact that we're at 80 RSI on the weekly would keep me from any long-term swing plays, at least for going long. All right, here's the daily. All right, today we pretty much stayed inside the range of Friday. This was the high of Friday. This was the low of Friday. And we've just been in a range. We've basically just been in a range with gold. Whether we're going to break above it or below it, who knows? Like I said, we're pretty oversold. We've reset a little bit on the daily. We're on the 60 RSI. But let's just look into the hour. Okay. All right. So let's see. All right. So we were bullish on the hour. I'm sorry. No, we weren't. We were bearish on the hour right at open because I took a bullish trade when we were bearish and I lost 250. We were bearish, but I thought we were going to go up. I felt like we were going to go up because this was Friday's low and it was resistance last night. I'm sorry, support last night. And then we made a higher low with this. We didn't even get back down to it. So I thought we would be going up, but I got in too soon with that long. Let's see. This was the 7 o'clock candle is here. And so I should have waited until we got above here, and I didn't. So that's why that long did not work out for me, because that's normally what I do. I like to wait until we get above that 7 o'clock candle. And let's see. But anyway, let's just examine this. I was going for a long somewhere in here. It was after 8:30, so it's somewhere in this candle. And we went down. So I lost $250. I won $70 like that last night. So that put me down like 180 or something like that. And we went down, and this is our opening range. This is our 8 o'clock candle, or 8 o'clock central opening range. The bottom of that candle, top of that candle. We broke the top of the candle. We broke it, and that's when I should have got long. I shouldn't have gotten short or long until we broke this range. So my first trade with gold was a loser. But anyway, you can see we just stayed bullish. We were just constantly, we've been making higher. We've been tracing down, but then we're making higher highs. We haven't gotten to Friday's high yet. I had this level marked here, and I did take a trade this afternoon with the break of this. And got in long and got most of my money back with gold. Let's see. Let's go with the 5-minute. All right, so yeah. So this is where the 7 o'clock, I believe this is where the 7 o'clock candle's top was. And I shouldn't have thought about taking a long until then. And when did we break out long? At that point. So a lot of times I think I'm right, but I'm not looking at it correctly. But anyway, let's see. When did I get long? This was it? No, I must have been before market open. Yeah. Yep, I got long probably somewhere in here before market even opened. I got long here instead of waiting for us to break this to go long. I'm thinking I'm going to be quick about it. When I saw we had this nice green candle close above the 5 EMA, we went down to the 5 EMA. We got under it, and then we started heading up. But I was a little late. I probably got in maybe like, I don't know. I don't remember, 33.9 or whatever. We hit here, and so I held because I thought we would break it, but we didn't. We got back down, and I got stopped out. So then after this time, we formed our opening range, which was the top of this and the bottom of this. Because I got out short, and then if I had done this the right way, this was the 7 o'clock high, and it was the opening range high. Once this candle broke and closed above this level, either I could have just jumped right in, especially with gold, because we just tend to run. Or after we had this red candle, I could have got in at the top of this green candle, and that still would have been a great trade. I could have got in here. We got closed below the 5 EMA, then we closed above it. I could have got in here and took that up to an equal high. And I just could have just kept taking longs until like around here, we just kind of started consolidating. I didn't take any of those. What I did take was this. We were consolidating at this point, and that was somewhat near a previous high. And when we broke this with this nice green candle here, we had a retracement and I got in at the top of this candle. And so I took this to the top, near the top of 360 or whatever. And so I was down 180 and I didn't get a lot. So I ended up still being down $30 on the day. So I'm down 300. Let's see. So yeah, that's where we are with gold. As far as the future with gold, I'm wondering, I'm going to really be watching to see if we get to the high of Friday, because that'll be interesting. Was that the high of Friday? Let me see. Looks like, oh yeah, it was. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be looking at to see if we do that. Otherwise, we're in the daily range, which is not my favorite thing. Of course, this range is going to be more narrowed for tomorrow because it'll be like around here and here. But yeah, that was gold today. I didn't look at NQ or crude. I haven't been trading it, but I do like to know what it's doing. Okay, so NQ, of course, is in the same spot that ES is in the weekly. It's not quite up to the 50 RSI on the weekly. We did make a higher high last week, and we closed above the 5 EMA. Today, we kind of got a doji on the, well, this is not the day, this is the weekly. So we just started this weekly candle. This means nothing right now. But that's where we are on the weekly. For now, like I said, I'm bullish up until this level. I'd be definitely curious to see, we may not even get to that level, but yeah, I mean, we could just go here to this green, the bottom of this green candle. Some people would call that an order block because we had a market shift after this candle and we made a lower low. So, I mean, we could just be stuck right here, but, I don't know. Let's see. Let's go to the daily. All right. Let's see. On the daily, we got bullish with the 5 over the 20. And let's see. We're almost at that death cross. We're almost at the 50 EMA. So I don't know. I don't know how much more bullish I would be on NQ. It looks like it's not too far away from those critical points. I don't know, but we shall see. We do have a higher low, and I would be surprised if we didn't react off of either the 50 or the 200 at some point or somewhere in the middle of that death cross. All right, let's go to the hour. I'm pretty sure it's pretty much the same. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we started off bullish. I could have gotten in when we got over the 7 o'clock candle, 7 o'clock central candle, which means it's opened at 7 and closed at 8 central. Could have got in here long. I didn't. Let's see. This candle with the close under the 50 would have been a good opportunity to go short here to wherever it was going. And right now we've got resistance here. Kind of want to wait till we break this resistance before you go long. So it's pretty much the same as, I'm not even going to look at the 5 minute because it's pretty much the same as ES, I'm sure. Let's go to crude. All right, so let's go to the weekly first. Okay, the weekly on crude. Okay, the one takeaway for me is we have no closures over the 5 EMA on the weekly. Absolutely none. Anyway, sorry. All right, we didn't have any closes over the 5, so at that point I would not be bullish. We did get to the 40 RSI, near the 40 RSI when we had this green, but we're dropping down now. Okay. I've already put the range for, but anyway, as far as we have an inside day. This was an inside. Oh, this is a week. I don't know why I keep, but anyway, yeah, for the week, we still look bearish. There's no bullishness in sight on crude right now. It could possibly turn into a bullish situation, but looking at this weekly candle, we're still bearish. All right, let me look at the daily. All right, the daily on crude. Okay, so this was the daily range from Friday. We didn't close above it, and we're not quite closed yet, but we're pretty much staying in that range. We've been in a range with crude lately. So we really didn't break too far above it or under it. We're just in the range on crude. But that daily red candle was pretty scary. I'm gonna look at the hour and see how we did that. Okay, this was Friday's high and Friday's low. All right, let's see. All right, we opened up the day looking bearish. So this was the 7 o'clock candle. I could have gotten in short here because we had already retraced up to above the 20. And if I got in here, we would have gotten below the 5 EMA and below the previous low and candle low. And so that would have, look on a 5-minute for a bearish setup, and that would have been a nice short. And the same here. We went up. Basically, you're looking for short setups until you see a sign that we may be reversing. All right, let's look at the 5-minute. Okay, yeah, that wasn't the 7 o'clock. This was the 7 o'clock right here. So this would have broke that, took a retracement up, got in right here, and that would have been a nice short. And then we had another pull up to the 20. Could have taken this. Only thing scary about this one is we're so flat. Actually, this wouldn't have, let's see. Actually, I would have wanted to wait it to here because this looked like support for some reason. And this candle, this red candle here broke this support. We came back up above the 5 EMA and could have gotten in around here, and that would have been a nice short. That would have been at least $300. Okay, this was Friday's low. We got there, we closed below it, we came up, and we came back to the 20, and like it was nothing, and we did the regular 5-minute setup. We went up to the 20, and we came back down. Well, we consolidated pretty nicely right here before we just dropped. And I don't know if we're going to stay above it or below it right now. It looks like we're not sure with crude. But that's it. So my takeaway for today, since I have a red day, I always have to come back and figure out what I did right and what I did wrong. My takeaway for the day, one of the things I did wrong is I took a trade in this opening range. I should only take trades above it or below it. If we stay in the opening range, then it's a no trade day. And that's just it. Because if we can't make a higher high on the hour or a lower low, then there's obviously no trend. And if I had just waited patiently, this was a perfect setup. We had to close below it. We retraced back to it. Could have got in right here. That would have been a nice trade. Wonderful trade. Let's see. Anything else? That's the biggest takeaway for me today that I'm angry at myself with, is that I traded within this opening. I was kind of a revenge trade. Oh, yeah, let me show you the gold trade that really grind my gears today. I was so mad. Okay, so we went short. I'm waiting for a long. As I said before, I got in long here, which I should have waited until we had a close above this 7 o'clock candle, but I didn't. I thought I called myself being cute and getting in early, and it didn't work out. And we went low, we went lower, but I'm still thinking we're going to go higher because we're still not making lower lows. Other than this, we're still not making lower lows. If you look on the hour, we're not making a lower low. So I'm sitting patiently watching this, waiting for the setup to go long. We had this candle, I believe it was, confirmed the cross of the 5 and the 20, but I told myself I want to wait until we break the opening range. We broke the opening range with this huge candle, and I'm waiting for a pullback to the 5 EMA, which we did not get. And we just kept going up. At this point, I just let it go because I was just so mad. And that's when I took that, right after that is when I took the ES trade that just did not work out. It must have been here, one of these trades. And I took it right afterwards, but it was this. And that's another takeaway. Okay, we broke this with a nice big candle, which means we have momentum. We have the volume. We definitely want to be above here. I just should have gotten in and just set my stop right beneath it. And it would have been a great trade. I would have had a 3-to-1 if I had held to here. So those are my two takeaways. Don't take a trade after we get our opening range on the hour. I'm not going to take a trade long or short until we break that range, because then it shows we have a trend. Second, if we do, especially with gold, ES isn't big for this. We typically will have our pullbacks with ES. But with gold, a lot of times we won't get our pullbacks. And you just have to swallow the risk and just get in. Put your stop here. Got in. And that, or secondly, wait for a red candle to form. And then get in above it. You know, because there was just so much momentum in this. I mean, it was obvious that we were going to continue to go up, and especially if you look at the hour, we were constantly making higher lows. We had a higher low here, and we had a higher low here. So because we were making higher lows, that's what told me we're probably going to go up, but I just had bad timing, and I was getting in at the wrong point. I was too nervous to get in after this. I wanted a pullback that didn't happen. And then I took a revenge trade. So that's it. That's my takeaways. So that's it for a day. I probably won't do a review tomorrow. I probably won't go over my trades tomorrow because I have PT. When I have PT, sometimes I run errands afterwards and I get home kind of late, and sometimes I don't want to do the review. But so far, I mean, yeah, that's it for today. Bye-bye.